Hey everybody, this is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and welcome to Friday Fun Live. Yay! I hope the broadcast is going to go well. I've got my fingers crossed. I did do a speed check before we went live on the internet here, and it's really slow. So if you get a pixelated view, I'm really sorry. I'm hoping that this will render better for the replays for you, so you won't get the same issues if we have any. But hoping we don't have any. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to assume I'm live here and just going to go ahead and say hey to everybody in the chat. Kelly, so glad to see you in the chat today. Just love hearing about all your activities there. And Susan with Susie Pop's Creation says, glad we have a live today. Can't wait to see everyone. And Ola Joe waving at you. I'm glad you were in the chat with me. And says, happy Friday, Bonnie in chat. Thank you so much. And Love to Craft waving right back at you. And Marie, my South Carolina friend, so good to see you as well. And Wanda Gordon says, good morning, Bonnie and everyone. Praying all are doing well. God is so good. Yes, he is all the time. And Angie, welcome. And Brad's mom, so glad you could be here. And thanks again for that reminder of hitting that thumbs up if you get a chance to. And Kelly's telling more about her concerns here. I'm so sorry about that. Thank you, Kelly, for letting us know. And Jesus Joy 7 says, good morning, Bonnie, Hannah, and the community. I pray everyone's doing well. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem and America. Yes, I would add the world too. Thank you so much for that reminder. Yes, lots going on right now. But we're taking a break from all of that. I know there are a lot of issues both in our wonderful country of the United States of America and outside today. Very much aware of that. I'm a little tired from taking in a lot of that information, but today it's about yarn. It's about this yarn community where we pull away from the worries and the concerns and we just focus on our little community here. So it's just a fun place for me. Lots been going on. I can get into that. I'll get into that in a minute, but let me just go ahead and say hey to more people. Sandra, good morning to you. She says, good morning, Bonnie, and all my yarn peeps from South I guess you meant California, Hope. Okay, maybe it's South. Okay, okay. Give me a minute here. The words kind of ran together. That might have been something auto-corrected from Southern California. Hope all is well with everyone. Okay, thank you so much, Sandra. Yes, hope all is well with you too. And thank you, Kelly, for taking care of Jesus Joy 7 in the chat there. That's really kind of you. And Diane, it's good to have you here from New Jersey. And Gladys says, good afternoon, everyone. It's a good day here and in New York City. Can't wait to see the new projects. Excellent. And Barbara, glad to have you in the chat. And Jane. And so, okay, it says, hi, Yarnies. Hope you're enjoying the sunny Friday, 24 degrees centigrade in Lincolnshire, UK. I wish I could convert that, but I'm guessing that's a good warm temperature for you all. I know 40 is like boiling hot, so that sounds like a really comfortable temperature. And Swati, so good to have you in the chat. It was great texting with you yesterday, my friend. Says, good morning from Southern California. Hope you all are well and happy Friday. Yay, it's Friday. We made it to the end of the week, guys and gals. And let's see, we have Sonia and Joni and Felicia. Good afternoon there. And Sue from South Africa. Wow, that is fantastic. And let's see, Comet Cowboy. That's great. I love that tag name. Great to have you here. And Christine. Oh, thank you, Hannah, for sending that to me. Hannah said that Felicia Weatherspoon likes my top. Well, thank you. This is an oldie but goldie. I made this, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago now. I'm losing track of the years, but this is on my channel. It's the popcorn summer top or something like that. There is a summer playlist in the video description you can look at maybe after the chat. But in this video description, there is a list of things that are really fun to do in the summertime. And this is one of them. This is on them. The picture though is of it's blue. It's dark blue down here. And it's, kind of a blue ombre up top. And I wanted to show you, where did they go? Where did they go? Here they are. Nope, that's not it. Hold on a minute. Oh, are they hiding here? Oh, they're hiding here. I wanted to show you the yarn that I use that I highly recommend. This is an unpaid endorsement, just to let you know. I just love this yarn. I think it's the best for summer tops, especially crochet. It's a fingering weight or sock weight yarn. It's called Universal Yarns Bamboo Pop Sock. And it comes in a lot of these really crazy colors, a lot of, variation, variegated type of yarn. But they also have solids that go with this, so that what you can do, you can look online at the different colors they have. And you can get solids to match up to these. And when you do that, don't feel like you have to match the color exact. Even if it's just a little bit off in the shade, it will work beautifully, almost better if it's just a little bit different. But anyway, so they have lots of these. And let me show you. Here's one of the solids. This could go. Obviously, that's not an exact match, but there are different varying shades of purple in here that this will draw out. So, or this could look great with a blue or a yellow or even a green. There's hints of green and all sorts of colors in this. So anyway, so in each of these, let me tell you, they have 492 yards. This doesn't look like a lot of yarn, but this collar that I'm wearing is, I think it took less than one of these. Yeah, less than one, I believe, if I'm thinking correctly. But lots and lots of yardage. So I've got these in my bag. Maybe I'll start one on the trip home. I'm so excited. I get to go home on Monday. Thank you, Hannah, for coming back. So Hannah will be traveling tomorrow, and with my husband, they're going to be coming up to visit, or no, coming down geographically. And then Monday, we're going to be heading back home. So I'll be really happy to get back to my faster internet and just to get back to my husband, back to my yarn stash, back to more of my equipment. So it's going to be nice. And I'll be able to put my physical books back into my Etsy store. The ones that I sign and send out, I've taken them out of my store temporarily since I'm away from home, but I will have them back available for 2 weeks only, because then after those 2 weeks, I am heading to Georgia for a good part of the summer to take care of my daughter who's expecting a baby. So really excited about that. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, Hannah. She says 28 Celsius is 82 Fahrenheit, which is a very comfortable temperature. I think it's a little on the warmer side, but not like the 90s that we had here this week. And Hannah's asking if I'm going to be doing a drawing today. No, I do not have anything to give away. I'm sorry if anybody's asking me that. Well, let me go ahead and tell you what's happening on my channel this past week. We released the Quick and Easy Knit Throw. I don't have that to show you here, but it's made out of that really chunky size 7 yarn. That is still available. I believe that's from Bernat. Yeah, it's Bernat Blanket Big, B-I-G yarn. It's number 7. It's not the blanket yarn, that's the thinner. It's the really super chunky stuff. So I used 5 of those. And do I have my needles with me here? Let me look. Here we go. So I knew I had these somewhere because I've been using them a lot this week. And I used this set of knitting needles. This is the size 50 or a 25 millimeter. And this is, I think, 37 inches long, but it doesn't have to be exact to the inch. But this is available on Amazon. And if you're interested, I think I have a link in my video description for these. But these are available on Amazon. Really, really nice set. And if you want to be getting into our next project, okay, so again, that was a knitting blanket that I released. And if you've never knit before and you were interested in learning, I think it's a good project to start with. There's a little bit of an investment with these and with the yarn, but I think you'll love the results. Now, why else am I showing you these big knitting needles? Well, because the project that is coming on Monday, I haven't shown this to you before. This is brand new. This is called broomstick. Now, some of you may be familiar with this. This is a very old technique, probably as old as the hills. But it's one that's kind of not been used a lot. It's kind of, I think it's been neglected lately. So I decided to bring it on out. And it looks complicated, doesn't it? But it really is not. In fact, I have taught this to absolute beginning crocheters um, who were in elementary school. So I've taught this to absolute beginners with success. Um, Not everybody got it, but some of them did, which tells me that for an intermediate or a confident beginner, this is a walk in the park. You will need you won't need to buy a circular set for this project, but for other projects that I have coming, this circular set will become very handy. You can also use the big, they have, I think it's Susan Bates has the big red size 50 knitting needles. You only need one. You don't need two. You don't need a set because you're not knitting with them. We're using them as you would a broomstick. The name broomstick comes from broomstick lace. It comes, I believe, from the early days when women used a literal broomstick to pull the loops onto. And I think if you've never seen this, take a look at the video once it comes out on Monday. I think you'll really enjoy this. And I had a lot of fun with the colors on this yarn. What yarn did I use? This was not expensive. This is the real cheap stuff. It's a little bit scratchy, and this is why. It's the Red Heart Super Saver, but it's called Bitty Stripes. Okay, so why am I crocheting with scratchy yarn? Well, it was available at Walmart months ago when I needed to buy something, just to have to anticipate working away from home. And also the how do I say, the lack of softness. How about that? How about that? Putting a good spin on scratchy yarn. The lack of softness in this yarn actually causes some resistance when you're pulling up the loops, which is a good thing, is that way the loops don't just all change shape immediately. And if the loops do change shape when you're crocheting these, you don't need to worry about it. You just put your hook in and just pull them up a little bit and they all even out. It's a really easy technique. But anyway, and if you wanted to soften this up later, you can by using hair conditioners. You can use Downy, but I've heard using hair conditioners and things on the Red Heart Super Saver really does help that. A lot of people do that with baby blankets as well. Now, am I saying you only have to use Red Heart Super Saver? Absolutely not. Definitely try your favorite yarn. But what I did like about this is the way the colors came out. Is that this is called, again, the Bitty Stripes. It's the first time I've used this particular type of Red Heart Super Saver. And I just really enjoyed the way, look how pretty much even the stripes came out. And I wasn't even trying to get them even. That's just the way they came out. Isn't that cool? So anyway, but all that to say is this is coming on Monday. Definitely feel free to use anything in your stash. This stitch works up. I'm so tempted to show you. I'm working it up right now with fingering weight yarn, and it is unbelievably beautiful. But I'm going to hold off until that project is complete. But another project that I'm hoping to roll this out in a few weeks it's going to take me some time because I've got to go through the sizing. I do have the pattern written. I just have to size it. But this is a really fun top to wear. And I used broomstick in the round, which was remarkably easy to do because of these. You just let the loops go off onto that as you're working in the round, and you just join in the round as you would anything crocheted. Okay. All right. So anyway, so this again, summer top that is coming, and a very loose fitting summer top made of wool and hemp. So a really interesting combo. Again, you can use anything, and this is a DK weight yarn. So if you have any maybe cotton DK, get it ready. Well, let me go ahead. Hannah's been sending me some text messages I want to get to. And Swati says, do you feel the need to wear something underneath this summer top? I'm always worried that I wouldn't be able to wear one, which is why I have yet to make it. Okay. Just the normal undergarments, Swati. I don't have anything besides, a bra, basically on underneath this one. And I understand, your concern for modesty. I also have that same concern, especially as I'm getting older. And there are holes in this for sure at the top. But I think as long as you're, wearing a normal undergarment, for a woman, wearing a bra, I don't think that's any problem. I've worn this one during the live. I don't think it was, I think it was fine. Now there are some other, I will say there's some crochet tops that are lace. I do have a crocheted lace top that I actually, if I'm wearing that one, I will wear a cotton, what do you call it? We used to have a different word for them, but not like a tank top, but just a light top. I can't think of the word. Camisole. We used to call them camisoles underneath the one that's made of lace because it is, it has holes that are bigger than I'm comfortable. But other than that, the other ones, I don't take any other, don't wear anything extra. Because if you did, then you defeat the whole purpose of wearing cotton because it gets super hot. Thank you, Hannah, for sending me all these questions. Okay, and question from M. Is there an option for a crochet hook to make that stitch used for the scarf? Yes, thank you, Hannah. There are a lot of options. I've tried some others. I mean, you can, try to pull them up with your finger evenly, although I really think that gets a little tricky. I think using a needle is the best way to do it. Now, if you go online and on YouTube or wherever and look up broomstick, you're going to see different techniques. So there are not a lot of different ones, but sometimes you can just, if you're comfortable just pulling them up and you can eyeball it, you can do that. But I think using the needle, especially if you're just learning for the first time, you're going to get more even stitching and it's going to just come out better. So that's, again, my 2 cents worth on that. Okay, so you know what's coming out on Monday? Yeah, okay, so I wanted to let you know that. If you're on the Watch channel, it's already on the Watch channel, and the pattern is there so that your complimentary pattern is there so you can download it. If the pattern actually for this scarf is already in my Etsy store and in my Lovecraft store, but the video will not go live. Whenever I schedule a video, it becomes private and it will not be available until Monday. So to let you know, if you want to look at the pattern, you can, but everything goes live with the video on Monday. All righty. Let's see. Let's get back to the chat here. We have Christine from Ohio. Yay. And thank you, Hannah, for being there in the chat. From Swati. Okay. Are the big knitting needles a fixed cable length? Okay. Let me see. I think there is one in the video description. If you go on, if you get these, the knitting needles that I just showed you, they just have one length available. I believe it's either 37 or 39. I get the two numbers confused, but it's more than a yard, and they don't have other options. Okay, 'cause they're really designed for knitting big blankets. That's what they're designed for, but they're fantastic for knitting things, for doing broomstick in the round, for broomstick lace crochet. They're absolutely perfect for for the top that I made, and this other design that I'm working on with fingering weight yarn. I would not have used anything else other than those knitting needles. They were just perfect for the job. All right. Um, and we have, see, Joni says, my granddaughters both graduated last week. Yay. Um, and going next week as freshman orientation. Wow. Wow. Go from the frying pan to the fire, huh? From high school to college. Wow. No, I'm just kidding. Wow. Just keep them busy, huh, Joni? And we have Christina from Brazil. Oh, fantastic. Welcome, welcome. I would say something, but I don't speak Portuguese. But I am so glad you're here, Christina. And comment says, of course it's not working. I hope that's not me. Um, and Countless Calthorpe from New Hampshire. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. Well, welcome. I love New Hampshire. My friend Jennifer Ryan is up in Manchester and been to New Hampshire many times, camped out in your White Mountains there. Fabulous place. Thank you, Swati. She said it was great texting with you too. Totally made my day. You totally made mine, my friend. I so appreciate you. And Tammy, thank you for letting me know what the conversion is on that. And I have a way to get to it, but my brain can only do so much. It has limited capacities these days. And yeah. And Hannah says, thanks for the love and support. Appreciate y'all praying for Hannah. Thank you so much. Joni says, but I guess her grandchildren are greatly loved. Excellent. Thank you, Ola Joe. The top summer popcorn yoke top. Yeah, that's the name that probably will bring up that top. Okay, well, Swati, I'll have to add that in. Hannah, if you can, I'll look at your notes and I'll try to remember to add that in, Swati. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me find it right here. Give me a second here. Doop, that, because I did write it down in another place. Okay, we should play some music here. I would do the Jeopardy theme song, but I might get a copyright on that. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Okay, give me a minute. I know I have it in here with about 1,000 other things. Okay, here we go. Got it. Okay, now to let you know, I have to let you know, this is my affiliate link. And all that means is I get a little bit of credit if you actually use that link for the purchase of the knitting needles. That's what that's for, is those jumbo knitting needles. They don't cost you a penny more. It's just a little bit of credit because I'm pointing you to them. That's all it is. And that's not a significant part of my income, but it's pocket change here and there. And I only recommend things, just to let you know, I only recommend things that I personally use and that I personally love in that way. I wouldn't recommend things just for the sake of making money. I don't rock or roll that way. All right. Let me scoot on down here. Yeah, I'm Swati talking about the tops again. Yeah, 2 layers would be too hot for me, I think, especially in California. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't wear 2 layers. Only the lace top, the one that's made of it's the crow's feet lace. It's also in that summer listing. I would wear something under that just because I'm not that adventurous, if you know what I mean. And I just want to honor my husband too, because I don't need to be dressing like that. Um, okay, so M, I did mention the yarn already, so I'm assuming we've already answered that. Thank you, Kelly, for your kind comment. Um, Barbara says, "Baby and yarn just need ice cream." Oh yeah, we're gonna have to get our fair share when we get down there. And Liz says, "I'd love to make that, but I am already buried in so many throws." No problem, Liz. It's never a mandate to make any of this stuff. And it's going to be these projects that I release are going to be there for a long time, so there's no rush. Um, Kelly said I was buffering earlier. Hopefully that's not the case. Hannah, if you can tell me if the connection is any better, I would appreciate that. I'm not getting the red warning like I was last week. Last week was horrible on the broadcast. I kept getting unstable connection, and um, yeah, it was kind of an exercise in misery trying to get last week's to go. So I'm glad that's at least doesn't seem to be the case. Um, and Liz says, "I love broomstick, but I'm too OCD for it." Uh, yeah, Um, just maybe take a look at the video and see what you think. I do go very slowly in explaining it, and um, yeah, you can. It's fine if you don't like it. It's fine. It's a little different of a stitch. I get that. And Tammy says, "I'm using the same Bernat yarn, making your baby basket weave blanket." Oh, cool. And yeah, Hannah's about to let me know here how I'm doing on this internet speed thing. That's funny, Swati. She said, "I just spent yesterday telling you how I don't like the Red Heart Super Saver, and you've just convinced me to give it a shot with that since the loops stay structured." Well, Swati, that's mostly for beginners. You don't have to get that yarn to try this stitch, I promise. Again, it was what I had handy, and I had never tried I like it when the stripes are longer and the color changes are a little bit longer like this because it gives you a chance to work with the yarn, and so it's not just kind of mush. So you can actually see stripes in something. I thought that would be fun, and I really did like the way this came out. Is it soft? No, it's not soft. I'll tell you that. I mean, it's not like a Brillo pad or anything, but it's not, it's not like this cotton is. But so be it. Oh, the name of the scarf. Okay, I'm calling this good question. I don't even think I said the name of the scarf. I'm calling this the quick and easy. Yes, quick and easy, and I'm not being facetious here. Quick and easy broomstick scarf. And again, that's not available yet. It's coming on Monday. Okay. Um, and I have a question from Countess. Is it Calthorpe, if I'm saying that right? Do you have a pattern or tutorial for a crocheted continuous cable border, meaning a cable that turns corners, not one where you have to do each side separately? Um, I don't know that you need a specific cable as much as what you need when you're turning corners is just a lot of stitches in that corner. You can use anything. I don't have a special stitch, but I have done that. Um, for example, when I do ribbing when I'm finishing off a poncho, I usually put way too many stitches in that first round so that you don't have to add to it on the other rounds, and so that the ribbing still works even with 4 or 5 rounds of not adding additional stitches, if that makes sense. But there are ways where you can add stitches in between. In fact, I'm working on a rug right now. Yeah, I'm working on a rug where I'm working with that idea, because if you're working in a circle, you can apply anything like stitches that are like in a circle. You can apply what's going on there to a corner as well, since a corner is just part of a circle as you're turning, if that makes sense. If I haven't answered that question, please give it another shot here. Um, and let's see. Swati says, thanks for helping with the info on modesty with these tops. Makes me more inclined to invest in making one. You can try one, Swati, and see what you think. Um, yeah, I don't feel any way exposed with this one. I did try this one on this morning, trying to decide which one I was going to wear, and this part of the top, which has some holes, just does come just above where the bust is on me. So you're not really gonna. I'm not showing cleavage with this one either, but it just depends on the person too. And again, you can always wear a camisole if you wanted to. They have a lot. And there's a lot of those on Amazon too, of just about every color of the rainbow. And Kelly wants to know, how long did you make that scarf that you crocheted? This one, this is approximately 60 inches long, not counting the fringe. Okay, so about 60 inches, and it's about, I believe it's about 8.5, 9 inches wide. I'd have to look up the pattern. It's in the ballpark, of a normal size scarf. And of course, you can make them as short or as long as you want. And if you wanted to make it wider, all you need to do is add multiples of 4 to the starting chain. I think the multiple is 4 plus 1. Multiple of 4 plus 1 for the starting chain. Easy peasy. And so the only other stitch besides the broomstick are single crochets in this, single crochets and chains. So it's very much a beginner friendly project. Like I said, I've done this with absolute beginners and it has worked. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and tell you about some other things I got on my channel. In case you missed it last week, because the broadcast was a bit garbled, I have a very short 2-video series, which we're calling it Best Crochet Advice. This is from my friend Jennifer Ryan up in New Hampshire, with Celtic Knot Crochet and myself. And we're basically talking back and forth, and each video gives you 5 pieces of valuable, I think, crochet advice that we kind of wish we had known when we started, but things that we have learned. And cumulatively speaking, between the two of us, we have this is crazy, close to 100 years of crochet experience. So it's not like, it's something that we just started doing 3 years ago or last week. And this is our advice. This is something that we've marinated in for, since our childhoods. One video, my part 2, you don't have to, doesn't matter which order you watch them in, quite honestly, but part 2 is on my channel. And in that video description, as well as in this video description, there's a link to this. You can go to Jennifer's channel over on Celtic Knot Crochet on YouTube. And we also talk about 5 things, and we saved the bonus thing for the last at the end of the video. So just hoping that you could watch all of it. If nothing else, it's a conversation between 2 really good friends who love crochet. So not much to miss there. Not much to, I think you might enjoy that. It's be like having a conversation, at a fiber festival, which I absolutely love. Speaking of fiber festivals, I know you've probably heard this. I'm going to say it again. Prince Edward Island Fiber Festival, for those of you who want to visit Prince Edward Island up in Canada, October 23rd through the 25th. If you're south of there, it should be a lovely drive up through all the colorful leaves of that time of the year. It's going to be at Delta Hotels, Prince Edward, 18 Queen Street in Charlottetown. If you're planning on doing that, I encourage you to get the hotel reservation in soon. The classes are available. You can sign up now. I encourage you to do that. And let me tell you some of the classes I'll be teaching. Intro to Crocheting Post Cables, Crocheting Beautiful Trims and Borders, Intro to Reading Crochet Patterns and Stitch Diagrams. I promise you on that one, you will leave and be more comfortable reading crochet patterns than you will your text messages from your teenagers. That is a promise. And another class, Multiple Ways to Crochet Ribbing. And yes, there are many different ways, not just single crochet and post. We're going to be covering those, but we're going to also be covering some others as well. And then 3 ways to crochet braided cables. So if you are interested in learning any of those, please join me at the Prince Edward Island Festival. Now I'm going to be in Pittsburgh, August 22nd through the 24th. That's coming up pretty soon. Going to be teaching making a technology watch band, multiple ways to crochet ribbing, Celtic weave and beyond. And the one that this is going to be more like an arts and crafts class. You don't even have to know how to crochet to do this one. Transforming denim with crochet. And I think I may have shown you this before, but I've been wearing this a lot lately. So my daughter Hannah found this short sleeved jeans jacket. I absolutely love this for the summer, Hannah. This is fantastic. Going into, when you go into a restaurant, especially down here in South Carolina, where it's like 25 degrees below whatever the temperature is outside, this is perfect. It doesn't heat you up. But anyway, in the class, we're going to learn how to apply all kinds of beautiful bling. And where go my glasses? This, again, the jacket was a thrift store rescue. This doily was an antique store rescue. Okay. And both of these together is under $15. I mean, I think the top is like $5. And I think I may have paid 10 or 11 for this one, but this is just a beautiful doily. And I don't know if you can see, but I've added, little bling, little blue sparkles on there. We're going to be working with sparkles. We're going to be working with glue. We're going to be working with these kashunk things. I forget what you call them, but where you using little nails, add beads, pearls to things. I'm going to be bringing all kinds of equipment and pretty things. If you want to join that class, you need to bring, I think a jacket is the best. We can experiment with pants if you want, but the primary I'm thinking of with denim is more wearables, jackets. But we're going to be working with that, and it's going to be a time of being inspired of the possibilities, which are endless. But I'm going to just introduce possibilities and then have the equipment for some of those possibilities. You need to bring a jacket, and preferably one that you're not so in love with, that costs hundreds of dollars, maybe something from the thrift store that's appropriate, and then you can get ideas, and then you can go do this to other things at home is my idea. And you need to bring some crochet. We're not going to have time to crochet and put this all together in a 3-hour period. It's mostly going to be an arts and crafts class there, but we're going to be showing you some things that I've been experimenting with and I'm testing so that I know this is going to work before the class. And you're going to need to bring a doily or any other piece of crochet. It can be crocheted with yarn, anything. It can be granny squares. It's whatever you think would look good on a jacket. This is really, really popular right now. I would be wearing this even if it wasn't, quite honestly, because I just love the look of it. I have many different ways you can add things. I'm going to be, trying to inspire during that class. Can you tell I'm a little bit excited about it? And since I was here in South Carolina, I went to a local antique store, and I'm adding to my collection. Here's another beautiful doily. Wouldn't that be beautiful on the back of a jacket? And you can put, little sparkles or beads wherever the holes are or however you want. And here's another one. I mean, this is just beautiful. And they were already just in excellent condition. And these I think these were $8 each, which might be actually a higher price than what you can find some. Now, are they worth $8? They're worth so much more than that, because I know whoever made these probably spent as much time as it takes me to make an Afghan. I am not particularly good. Thread crochet. I can do thread crochet, but I guess I should say I don't enjoy it. It's not my passion. So you're not going to find really anything like that on my channel. It's not that it's not worthy. It's a beautiful craft. But if you are one who has a lot of these, you can bring those to the class for sure. It's whatever. But I'm just saying you don't have to be a crocheter to join that particular class at the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. And again, those dates are August 22nd through the 24th. These classes are very economically priced. I think you'll find the whole experience there much more affordable than in many other cities, many other. It's just it's a very nice, affordable fiber festival. If you've never been to one, I highly recommend you check it out. Parking is easy. It's in the back parking lot. You don't have to worry about, in town, like downtown Pittsburgh parking. It's not like that at all. It's just outside the Beltway. It's in Green Tree, Pennsylvania. And if you wanted to drive into Pittsburgh and look at the town, you can certainly do that. Look at the rivers. It's really quite amazing. Um, Anyway, so that is that. Let me get back to the chat. Um, we have Carol says, hi, Hannah, Bonnie, and all. Carol Beth in Oregon here. Great to see you. Oh, great to have you with us, Carol. And we answered that question. And Alana, welcome. She said, late, but we'll catch up. Well, Alana, I'm late getting to your comment there. So you're in good company, my friend. Da, da, da. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Hooked by Deville. Wow, from the UK. Well, excellent. So you're probably in your evening hour there, right? Must be around 6 o'clock, getting close to dinner time. And Lavana says, good day, everyone. I have got to start knitting again. I am currently into my first love, crochet, chatting from Las Vegas. Wow. Well, welcome. Yeah, same here. My first love, as far as the fiber crafts, is always going to be crochet, but um, I've enjoyed learning how to knit. It's kind of funny. My daughter and I used to tease each other because she learned to knit before I did. And I used to tease her and say, you're going over to the dark side of the force, So when I learned to knit, I told her I needed to know what the dark side of the force was up to. So, when I go to conferences, people are like, oh, do you knit? And it's like, well, I do, but I try to keep that quiet. Just all in joke, all in jest, I promise you. Both crafts are wonderful. And I enjoy understanding. I'm glad I can understand the knit now. I've learned enough so that I'm not intimidated by it, where before it was just like a mystical unknown. Okay, great. Okay, I'm back on the border question. Says, thank you for your response. I understand what you're saying. I think you did something similar in your on the hill far away throw. I will give that a try. Yeah, I have to think back on that one, but yeah, I guess I did do a border on that with the crowns. Yeah, but yeah, certainly, yeah, if you just apply crocheting in a circle to that corner, I think that will help a lot. You just have to add more as you make that 90-degree turn. It's a lot more intense, I guess, than a circle, but it's the same idea. Again, Hannah, thanks so much for what you're doing here. And okay, thank you, Jen, for your encouragement. And glad it's on good on your end there, Wanda, with the internet connection. Thanks for the feedback, although I'm late looking at it. And Swati talking about the stripes in the Red Heart yarn. Agreed. I like the longer stripes. Red Heart does a good job with the colors for sure. There's also a color, Swati. It's not these, but I was at the yarn store yesterday or 2 days ago, and the bamboo pop sock do have some colors where they just have longer stripes as well. If you like the colors that are in that combination, I was kind of iffy on that, but there are other yarns out there too that will, have the longer striping. Okay. And Kelly says, "Can you use a Tunisian hook to make the scarf on the chair?" Kelly, honestly, if you just have a wooden broomstick, if you just have a wooden broomstick about 25 millimeters, that's all you need. I mean, originally they just used broomstick. So, yeah, or a dowel, like just a round wooden dowel. It might be easier if you can look at Michael's. I know sometimes has these. Trying to think of what other stores do we have now? Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and I don't know that Hobby Lobby would have those. I don't have a Hobby Lobby near me, so I don't go in there um, except on rare occasions. So. Um, And from M, have you ever stayed at the hotel that is hosting the Fiber Festival in Pittsburgh? I was wondering about the rooms. I saw some negative reviews about the rooms. Yes, I have stayed there 4 or 5 years now. Um, and the reason I go to the Pittsburgh Fiber Festival has nothing to do with the quality of the hotel rooms. The hotel rooms are adequate. It's not. Um, It's not the Fontainebleau Hilton Hotel on Miami Beach or anything like that. It's lower priced. It's an old building. It's in an old town. Pittsburgh is an old steel town. Um, so the I don't again, the hotels are fine. I didn't have any trouble sleeping. Has running water. They're clean. They're adequate. Are they the best hotel rooms I've ever stayed in? No, but that's not why I go there. I don't spend much time in the hotel room except sleeping and getting a shower in the morning, and then I'm just not in there very much. I'm usually out and about talking with people, visiting with people, in the classroom teaching, or in the marketplace talking to vendors, people who dye yarn and things like that. So um, that's my honest response. It's not the it's not the most high grade hotel, that's for sure. But that's not why I go there, and that's why you're not paying $300 a night to go there. I have been to nicer places, like in Loveland, Colorado, but the cost of the classes, the cost of staying there as a teacher, I had to pay my own way that way. I mean, was close to $300 a night. So didn't make any money there. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to teach and to meet people. Fortunately, because if I was there, it's much more expensive. So, but it's the same experience. And in some ways, I would even say the Pittsburgh experience is better. So, but thanks for that question. And just know you're gonna people. I don't know. People can fuss about all sorts of things too, but in honesty, it's that's not why I go. It's not for the hotel experience. It's for the people. Um, and Swati says, "Did you hear that Michaels is buying the Joanne brands? I guess they will be expecting. So maybe all is not lost." Well, if they I want to be careful here. I'm not. I used to work for Michaels years ago. I'm not. I'm not going to say anything terribly derogatory. I'm not impressed with their corporate, um, and I won't get into all that. There's no need to go into dirty laundry. Um, but they also said the same thing when AC Moore went bankrupt. Do you remember that? AC Moore had some excellent brand yarns that I personally love, and they were supposed to bring them into their stores. How many years has that been? 5, 6 years, 7 years? I still haven't seen the brands. So hopefully the people running corporate are telling the truth. I don't know if it's coming from corporate or if it's just a speculation. But if they do start carrying, I know the big twist is one that's very popular that everybody's talking about. It would be nice if they continue to carry something, and what's not to love, if it's a yarn that's popular and people want, why not carry it and offer it, right? But I'm not a corporate person, so I don't know how they're thinking on that, but I do hope for a lot of your all's sake that they do, that they do what the rumors are saying. Um, but yeah, I'll keep my fingers crossed and hope that works for you. But I have heard things, but like I said, I've heard that about other things too, and nothing ever came of it. So, I'm hoping that it's not just, not just blowing smoke, but they're really going to act on what they say. Um, I mean, they're not going to have much competition anymore. I mean, it's in my area, that's going to be the only big box store left, unless I want to drive, for 2 hours to go to a Hobby Lobby or someplace, which I generally don't do. So anyway, um, yeah, okay. So let's keep going here. Actually, making pretty good time. I left my Bible in the other room again, but I can get my cell phone for my thing I want to read in a bit. Um, Hannah, thanks again for sending me all your questions. And hello, what's this? Is it Amel? I'm probably mispronouncing that. From France. Well, happy Friday. Well, bonjour and happy Friday to you too. Um, that's a country my husband and I would love to visit again. We want to see Normandy and other parts of France that we've not been to, but did enjoy Paris and taking um, your speedy train um, all the way to Switzerland. So that was a lot of fun. Many, many years ago. Hannah remembers that 2013. Ah, 12 years ago. Dang, that's been a long time. And Joni says, I like the Red Heart yarns. No problem with it being rough to work with. Some yarn made from Turkey are remarkable soft to work with. Yeah. Yeah, and just kind of funny doing it. Most of the yarn, especially if it has acrylic or polyester in it, most of the yarn is made in Turkey. That's where most of it comes from. Um, and let's see. Oh, Jeannie's in the chat. Hey, Jeannie. So glad to have you here. I hope is it Jeremiah? I hope your son is doing well, and he's on my got him on my prayer list. Hope things are going well with your family. Hope you can find another doggy too. Um, anyway, so good to have you in the chat. And let's see. Kelly wants to know if I was doing a drawing today. Nope, sorry, Kelly, not today. Um, and thank you, Wanda. She likes the doilies. Okay, answer. I'm just looking at questions that I've already answered. Um, okay, Jeannie. She says, been to. Um, I had a great time meeting you there, Jeannie. And you're just such a sweet friend. Um, and yeah, Hannah says, talking about that, it can really depend on the hotel and who made the review, but hopefully they'll be clean. Yeah, if the person who put I mean, it is an old hotel, and it's in an old part of town. It's in Pittsburgh. It's beautiful, brand spanking new. I mean, there's a lot of history. Yeah, so it's an older building. That's all. Just know that. I mean, it's not, hasn't wasn't built last year. So, yeah, but yeah, I have not had really problems there that I can recall. I was probably too exhausted even if I did to notice, because when I go to those, especially to Pittsburgh, I give it all. I mean, I leave it all in the classroom or in the marketplace, and I go back up to my room and zonk until the next day. But I love every minute of it. And Carol G and the corn dogs. Good to have you there. Uh, Yeah, and Jeannie says the best part is everything that is in the hotel. Yeah. Yeah. It's what's going on at the hotel that makes it so good. And Jody says she was born in Pittsburgh. Very cool. I have a daughter-in-law who actually works at the Children's Hospital there in Pittsburgh, Jody. Um, Very nice. And Ellen's Crochet says, as long as it has beds. Yeah, beds, linen, and carpet that's clean, it's all good. Yeah, they have that, Ellen. It's fine. And if it's not, then you just go back to the front desk and say, do better. That's what you do. You just say, I need such and such, and you know, and you get what you need. Um, And Kelly wants to know, how far is Virginia from Pittsburgh? It really depends on where you are in Virginia, Kelly. Depends on, how far west or east you are. You can always email me and I can figure it out for you on the internet. Um, and Felicia Weatherspoon says, I had a nice hotel room when I visited Pittsburgh years ago. Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, it's an old building. I'm not gonna gloss that over. It's an old hotel, but I think it's fine. Now, as far as places to eat, there's not a lot of options. There is the hotel restaurant there, which is pretty good. They make a really amazing, hamburger and fries and that sort of thing. But what I like to do, um, and we've done this a couple of times, as long as the numbers, aren't crazy. Anybody that wants to, when like on Saturday, not Saturday night, because Saturday night we're going to be busy. Friday night, maybe Friday night. Um, you know, Sometimes we'll get together and we'll go get dinner at the Olive Garden, which is like 5 minutes away, just around the corner from the hotel. And they have really great food there. And if you're not even, if you're even on a diet or something like that, you can get the endless salad and soup, for under $10. It's very economical and oh, delicious. Of course, you have to overlook the breadsticks, but um, really, really good food just right around the corner. Uh, and Wanda says, I miss AC Moore. Yeah, yeah, I do too. That was such a great place. I used to go in there with the grocery cart and fill it up with yarn when they'd have a sale. I just absolutely love their stuff. All right, I think I'm getting towards the end here. Um, and Swati, did not know about the Michaels issue with AC Moore. Well, let's hope for the best either way. I did feel so sad when Joanne closed. Yeah, I did too. Um, it's hard to believe it's not there anymore. Yeah, Ellen's Crochet says, I love the newer Big Twist line of yarns and we'll miss them. Well, let's hope they bring them back. Yeah, if a lot of people, you know, say enough and let them know, the people are going to buy this stuff. There's no reason not to carry it. That's my opinion. But um, and Barbara says Alaska has horrible shopping. I was wondering, Barbara, do they even have the possibility of delivering to you by drones? I was just wondering about that because I know you're kind of out removed from shopping centers, so to speak. But anyway, yeah, I imagine just not having a huge population to justify stock. I wonder if that's the problem there. Okay, Joni's trying to answer Kelly. Says, I believe it's several hundred miles. Checking for you. It's 420 miles from Virginia Beach. So I hope that helps. Oh, yeah, you're in Virginia Beach. So you're going to have to go west because from where I am in Maryland, I have to go about 3.5 hours and it's just about straight west. So yeah, you're going to be going. Yeah, that's probably 8 or 9 hours. That's a lot. That's like me going from Maryland all the way down to South Carolina. That's a long drive for you, girl. Um, and Felicia's saying, I did too, Swati. I miss Joanne's. Yeah. Yeah. Um, oh, great. Jeannie said, I did get a dog. I will text you later. I would love to hear about it, Jeannie. A picture if you can. That would be fantastic. And Amanda, great to have you in the chat. Um, So Kelly says, I was born in Newport, Virginia. Don't know if that is on the south side. And I know that's a lot further east than where I am. And Jet One in says, hi, Bonnie and chat. Just wanted to say a quick hello. So sorry for coming in late. I needed the extra sleep. Have a blessed rest of your day. Well, so glad that you could be here at all. That was so, so sweet. Um, thank you, Joni. She got it nailed down. 308 miles. Okay, so you're looking at, I don't know, you've got, depending on traffic, probably about a good 7-hour drive, if not more, depending on, the traffic getting there. And Jen Snow, thank you so much for your prayers. Well, let me go ahead. Where did my phone go? There it is. I wanted to read something to you. Let me look it up real quick. Something I've, just from my daily reading. I read Psalm 62 today. Okay. I was going to read verses 5 through 7. And, like I said, in light of, there's a lot going on out in the world. I'm not going to talk about it because my channel is not set up to do that. But I know there's a lot that can cause anxiety and, all sorts of things. Just sometimes wondering what could happen can sometimes disturb people more than what really does happen. It's true, right? Anxiety which is basically worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. So there are a lot of things to be concerned about. I will admit that. But I wanted to read this, just some words of assurance. This is a Psalm of David from Psalm 62 from the scriptures, starting with verse 5. For God alone, O my soul, wait in silence, for my hope is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation, my fortress. I shall not be shaken. On God rest my salvation and my glory. My mighty rock, my refuge is in God. Trust in him at all times, O people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. So I hope that's an encouragement to you. And I hope to see you next week, broadcasting from Maryland. Yay. God bless y'all. Bye-bye.